That's right. We are the creative cosplay 4 minus 2 again.
They're not here again.
No, they're not here again. You know when we start working with all of the foam and that kind of stuff, all the smell,
They disappear.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're going to get to meet them really soon. I promise. And we think they're pretty hot. So
Most definitely.
Yeah. So we have to say that. They're our wives. So we are going to be talking about what foam is good for what.
What?
Do not start that again.
Start what?
We are not going to play who's on first and what's foams for what. Now you got me doing it.
You said it.
Guys, join us in just a little bit. We're going to be talking about what foam is good for what. I got to get out of here. Oh my God.
Ray, you can come on back.
Okay, Chuck, do you promise to stop?
Stop what?
You did it again. So guys, we're going to be talking about what foam is good for what. A lot of people realize that there is different types of foam, but they don't know what to do with it. So in our video today, we're going to be looking at a bunch of different types of foam, not just EVA foam, and what you can do with it.
You said it again.
I've got to stop. So, Chuck, our first foam that we're going to be talking about, what is it?
Pretty much it's a high density foam. It's better known as upholstery foam. The stuff that your seat cushions are made out of.
Oh, so you can actually use that for cosplay?
You can.
What is it good for?
It's good for washing your car. But honestly, you can take foam like this, upholstery foam, any type of upholstery foam. You can actually make muscle suits out of it.
So you're saying I can take this stuff, kind of put it up inside and carve it?
You would carve it first before you put it up inside.
Oh, okay. Now, Chuck, where is the cheapest place I can find this?
Actually, furniture. Of course, it's called upholstery foam. So you're driving along the road, and all of a sudden you see an old couch that somebody's disposing of. Guess what's inside that couch? Upholstery foam.
And that's the thing, is if it's in decent condition, unzip the cushion, take a look at the foam. If the foam doesn't become dusty in your hand, grab it. If it doesn't look stained or nasty once you take it out of the cushion, it's free foam, guys. Remember, we're teaching you how to make cosplay on the cheap.
Exactly.
So if you can get stuff for free, like upholstery foam, sponges, these things are awesome. If you want that little extra muscle, just carve it down into the bicep, put it inside your muscle shirt, glue it in there. You now have a set of muscles that anybody would die for.
Exactly.
We're going to talk about styrofoam and the things you can do with it. One of the really cool things about styrofoam is it comes in all shapes and sizes. You can find it in almost anything you order that comes in the mail that needs to be packaged. Don't throw those pieces away.
And it's free. Once again, it's free.
Now, one of the things was my basher. Now, this was made out of a couple pieces of packing material that sat around a small tower computer case. That was it. I seen these pieces, and in my mind, I thought if I glue these together, I can have a really cool apocalyptic-looking piece of metal.
And
Put a little chain on it.
Yes. And that's all styrofoam. All free, never costing for an amazing looking prop.
The only thing it cost me, and we're going to cover this in some of our other stuff on how to work with styrofoam, a little bit of glue and water, a little bit of paint, and a little bit of sealant. And that was it.
So for about maybe $3, he pulled this whole amazing prop together.
And it looks really heavy. It also kind of scares people during Halloween when I'm walking around and swinging it at them. What are you doing? And thank God you wore deodorant.
What?
Chuck, what is the next foam we're talking about?
Yoga mats?
No, No yoga mats. I don't care what you hear on any other video. I don't care what you hear on any other site. Stay away from yoga mats. One, they're really, really expensive. No matter how cheap you find them on sale, they're still going to be upward around $20, $25. The best I've maybe ever found one for was $15, and it has very, very little actual foam that I can use.
It's not workable. You just cannot work with it. My biggest mistake when I first started 10 years ago, I went out, I bought 2 yoga mats, and cut them apart, and let me tell you what, they fell apart. And the foam you cannot mold it, work with it, you heat it up, and it goes right back into the original shape it originally was.
So our total agreement on this is stay away from yoga mats. For the cost of a yoga mat, you can get a whole pack of actual EVA foam, which this is just a type of floor mat. These are things that people stand on all the time. And another thing, we're going to talk in other videos, don't get rid of the edges.
That's a pre-cut edge, another pre-cut edge.
Some people will throw them away, and we'll actually show you in some of our videos where we've used them to make some pretty cool things. But no yoga mats, EVA foam mats.
Yes, very, very
EVA
important.
foam mats.
So Ray, that brings us into the next subject. What are we going to talk about?
We're going to be actually looking at different types of EVA foam. EVA foam comes in a lot of different thicknesses. We're going to start with the thickest foam and work our way down to the thinnest foam. So, Chuck, I know we've started off using a lot of this.
Oh, yes.
You know, back 10 years ago, we were making everything, literally everything, out of these really thick, heavy-duty mats. Now, they were great for what they were at the time.
And they looked really good at the time.
But we learned really quick, with a mat that's this thick, it gets a little clunky.
Yeah, the malleability of it, to be able to fold it, bend it, shape it, is very, very difficult.
What do you suggest with a 10 millimeter?
Like medieval armor, like chest plates and that type of stuff, medieval armor, the stuff that's going to be in the main course of your body. You want it to look big and rugged.
Maybe also like shields.
Shields would be really good, yes, most definitely.
Let's start on a shield. I know I've seen, and we've actually done some stuff, there's a lot of people who love to do anime, and they'll actually take 2 of these big sheets and they'll glue them together to give themselves even more to make those big, huge swords and those big weapons that the anime kids carry around a lot.
When I make my guns, I have an M1 Garand I made for Captain America. I glued together 5 sheets of this, make it the length of it, and then from there I carved and added and took away from it.
So there's a lot you can do with this. The big, clunky, industrial feel, that's what works really good when you're looking at 10 millimeter, is the big, clunky pieces or to start your carving.
Yes. And it's really nice that you said about the industrial, because when we do the steampunk stuff, it's really neat to kind of make 3D gears out of this. You want that big and rugged and make it look like it's tough. It just came out of a mill.
Absolutely. So again, guys, think about this as your big, clunky, basic building part. Size down half a step. Now that step is moving us down into 5 millimeter. It looks really thin, but this stuff holds up really, really nice. And what's been great, Chuck, is I've noticed that as cosplay has become more of a mainstream thing, that there's so many creators out there, that this isn't the only way you can find this anymore. This is what we were forced to find.
Oh, yes.
Was just small sheets, and then we would have to glue together and piece together. And now they actually have.
We have it in rolls now. And this happens to be a roll of 60 inches. So you're looking about 5 feet. You know, so this is enough to pretty much, if I run and roll it, I could do something from head to toe in this 5 millimeter foam, which is amazing, because now, and another thing is, like this, you can make belts with this. You don't have to glue these together like I used to, and then you're out on there and the belt comes apart because where you have your seam, it wasn't reinforced. You can now do all sorts of stuff with this.
This is probably one of your most versatile sizes, is 5mm. And again, if you can get it in the large rolls, and it's available in a lot of the hobby shops that are around, and that's the thing, hobby shops are carrying cosplay stuff more and more. You can even ask them now, where's your cosplay or your foam section? And people know exactly what you're talking.
And what I like about the 5mm foam that I didn't know when we first started out, because I was using the big format EVA foam, is perfect for helmets. Amazing for helmets.
And the helmets aren't so clunky. Now, some of our helmets, we like them thicker, but they do get really clunky. And having the thicker sides, we can't see around very much. But this right here, 5mm, has so much uses. Pick yourself up at least one roll of this, because you're going to be using it in a lot of our videos.
And the biggest advantage for 5mm, it's easy to cut and it's easy to sculpt and add detail work to.
All right, we're moving down another step. The next step down is actually what we found to be one of the hardest sizes to find. And that's actually 3mm. So it's almost, again, half the size of the 5mm, which means it has more flexibility.
Exactly.
And you can do more carving and sculpting with this that you can't do with the 5 and definitely can't do with the 10. So 3mm, super hard to find, but what have you used it for?
I like to use it for overlay. I like to use it for shoe shell. If you know what a shoe shell is, you don't want something thick or even 5mm over your foot. You want to do a shoe shell over your personal shoe to blend in with your character, and that's nice to work with.
That'll be in one of our videos. We're going to teach you how to make a shin guard and then come down to a shoe shell. The shin guard is usually a little bit thicker. Your shoe shell, to go around your actual tennis shoe, slipper, whatever you're using, is a little bit thinner, and it actually is really comfortable to wear when you're walking around a con all day long.
And one other thing real quick, because I like my medieval armor, it is good for your gauntlet gloves when you want to overlay your armor on your finger pieces. Because I found out that the 1mm is just a little bit too thin and it will rip and tear, but it's good for overlaying. But this is really, really durable for overlaying when you want flex in your fingers.
Oh, look, Chuck, we must be making kindergarten crafts for our mommies and daddies and...
What?
Guys, that's what most of this is for. This is the thinnest, actually, foam you can buy. This is 1mm foam. And when I found out about this, that was my first thing was, I used this back when I was in kindergarten, first grade, to make my mom little Terraform hearts.
Little hearts.
Guys, this stuff acts just like leather. You can take a ballpoint pen and you can actually do filigree on this kind of stuff, which again is going to be one of our other videos. We're going to teach you this right now. What would you say it's the best thing for?
I like it for detail work.
Lots and lots of detail work. When you're working with gauntlets and you have those, or you want beautiful little designs on your swords or on your guns or anything you have, this is it right here. Chuck, do you remember those times of cutting out all those little detail pieces like fish scales, bevels, all those kind of things?
I still do that.
There's an easier way. There's now companies that are actually making pre-cut pieces like fish scales.
Wow, that's really cool. I could shave and still have a mustache.
They're making anything you want already pre-done. So guess what? You don't have to worry about it. You can buy one of these pieces, and instead of doing what we do and trying to split a dowel, they're already done for you. They come in all different sizes, all different shapes. All you have to do is just look for them. Just Google pre-cut foam shapes, and you'll find them. They're out there, and they are amazing. Guys, these are basically playmat pieces for little kids. They have texture all over them. You can see the texture. Texture. Ah, texture. So there's a bunch of different types. Look at that. Do you know how long it would take to cut and to carve texture like this?
I'm going to tell you right now, getting texture like that is almost impossible. It really is. I've even tried heating up my foam with embossing rolling pins that you use for fondant for cakes, and you'll never get anything as awesome as this.
And so there are so many of these. When you see them, pick them up. I'm going to tell you right now, where we got these was at a yard sale. Some family was moving, and they had these in their little kid's bedroom, but they were getting rid of it because their little kid had grown up. Their loss, their sale, our gain. Guys, texture is so cool.
It's amazing. Ray, look what I found.
What are you playing with? Is that taffy? Can I have some?
No, you don't want to eat this. This is actually a new product that I found for cosplay. It's called foam clay. It's actually a clay that is a foam, and it will dry hard.
How do I let it dry?
Air dry.
Duh, says it right there, guys. Air dry foam clay. So this stuff gets as hard as normal foam?
Yes, it does.
Can I shape it?
You can shape it. You shape it first.
Okay.
After it dries, you don't want to shape it with heat. It will not form like you do with heat. That's why you want to shape it before it dries.
Another thing it might be good for is filling in some of those cracks and crevices.
Yes, I've actually done that, and it's amazing. And a little bit of water, you add a little bit of water to it, and you fill it into any cracks and crevices that you might have after you put two foam edges together. You can fill that in there. One of the things about forming with this clay, though, and I've used this several times, you cannot put detail work into it and let it dry, because it does have a water substance to it. It will slowly kind of form the edges this way as it dries. But then once it's dry, you can actually take a very light heat source with I use like a hot knife.
Okay.
And I'll carve into it, and then that'll carve into the clay and put your detail work into it that way.
Guys, I can't wait to start playing with this a little bit more. This has got a really cool feel, and I'm just thinking of a lot of the things that the pre-cut pieces, or when I'm trying to carve, I could actually just mold it, let it dry, and put it on for detail. That is going to be incredible. I can't wait for you to see some of the stuff that we're going to think about. Also, one of the things that we want you to do is if you're using this foam clay, please go to our Facebook page at Full Steam Ahead Cosplay and Production Team. Send us some of the videos of you working with the different foam, and we'd like to see what you guys are doing so that we can feature it in some of our videos, and someone might see something cool,
yes,
and we might invite you to be on our show. Foam, guys, most versatile thing we have. If you want to learn more, catch us in our other videos, but right now we got a favor to ask you. Could you please go ahead and hit the like button right down there? If you haven't subscribed, subscribe to our channel. Keep up with all our videos that come out.
And also, share the videos to your friends and fellow cosplayers.
Because there's always people out there that say, I never knew you could do that. And that's what we love to do, is we'd love to answer your questions. So another thing is, in the comment section down below, if you have any questions on any of the foam we're using, where we're getting it from, go ahead and leave a comment. We would love to hear from you. We are going to start pretty soon making this our channel that you can go ahead and also get a subscription and that you'll pay for. And you're going to get special videos that'll be sent to you. You're going to get links. And you might also get invited out to the actual Full Steam Ahead Cosplay and Production Team garage, where you're going to be here for a make and take event that'll be absolutely free to you.
You get a one-on-one with us.
Guys, we love that you're watching our channel. Keep an eye out for all of our upcoming videos. We have a lot in store for you. And we're also going to have something special pretty soon, where we've got, back over in the corner, our mascot. We're going to have you name him for us, because we're not sure what to actually call him. He's kind of creepy back there, so we got to give him a little bit of life and a little bit of fun. With that, I'm Ray.
And I'm Chuck.
And we are Creative for Cosplay. See you next time, guys.